Very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you guys have revised what I have discussed in the previous session. Further, I think I gave you guys few questions to do. I hope you guys were able to solve. I request you guys to please post the answer. So very good, Mr. Om Krishnan. Good morning, first of all. All your answers are correct. Hari Om. Anyone else? Very good. Swati. Anyone having any doubts or queries in the questions what I gave homework? See, I have discussed till example number 4. Example number 5, I'll be discussing. Now, example number 6, it's the similar question is there in the study material. And again, example number 7, the similar question is there in the study material. So let me discuss example 5 first. Example number 6 and example number 7, I'll post the final answers. So let's start with example number 5. Example, when talking about example number 6, the same question is there in the study material, and example number 7, again, the similar question is there in the study material. So I'll be posting the final answer for 6 and 7, and let me solve example number 5. So Mr. Amit Gupta has started a transport business with a fleet of 10 taxis. The various expenses incurred by him are given below, wherein the cost of each taxi is 75,000. The salary to the office staff is 1,500 per month. Salary of garage supervisor is 2,000 per month. The rent of garage is given, that is 1,000 per month. Driver salary per taxi is 400 per month. Road tax and repairs were per taxi are 2,160 per annum. Insurance premium at the rate of 4% of cost per annum. Now the life of taxi is 3 lakh kilometer, and at the end of which it is estimated that it can be sold at 15,000. A taxi runs on an average 4,000 kilometers per month, of which 20% it runs empty. The petrol consumption is 9 kilometer per liter of petrol, and the cost of petrol is 6.30 per liter. Oil and other sundry expenses amounting to rupees 10 per 100 kilometer. Calculate the effective cost of running a taxi per kilometer. If the higher charges are 1.8 per kilometer, find out the profit that Mr. Amit may expect to make in the first year of operation. Good morning, Miss Bhasme Manoj. So let's start with this example number 5. So we'll prepare a statement of cost. So the cost of taxi is given, that is 75,000. This is relevant for calculating depreciation. So let's calculate the depreciation. See, this depreciation can be fixed also and variable also. So here in the depreciation is dependent upon the distance traveled. So we can take it alternatively as variable also. But however, here it is given that on an average it is running 4,000 kilometers per month. So I'm taking it fixed, but alternatively you can take it as variable also. The cost of a taxi is 75,000 and scrap value is 15,000. The useful life is 3 lakh kilometers. And on an average, they are running for 4,000 kilometers in a month into total 10 taxis. So 60,000 divided by 3 lakh. So the depreciation will be 8,000 for a month. The total number of taxis are 10. So the aggregate depreciation will be 8,000. Salary of office staff is 1,500 per month. Salary of garage supervisor is 2,000 per month. Rent of garage is 1,000 per month. Driver salary per taxi is 400 per month. $400 into 10 taxis. So this will be 4,000. Road tax and repairs per taxi per annum is 2,160. Is per annum into 10 taxis divided by, since we are doing the monthly calculation, so that will be divided by 12. So this will be 1,800. The insurance premium is 4% of the cost per annum. So the cost of taxi is 75,000 into 4% into 10 taxis divided by 12, because we are doing the monthly calculation. 75,000 into 4%, we will get the yearly insurance premium per taxi into 10 months, into total 10 taxis divided by 12, because we have to do the monthly calculation. So this will be 2,500. So I think we have considered all the fixed cost or standing cost. So there is a query from Shoaib, sir, how it is identified that one taxi to be taken or four? It's not four, it is 10. So dear C, when talking about the other information, salary of office staff, it is 1500. It is for all the 10 taxis. Further, salary of garage supervisor, 2000 per month. It is for all the 10 taxis. So that's what it is. So that's why I have taken the data for all the 10 taxis. So this is all what about my fixed cost. That is 8,000 plus 1500 plus 2000. Now next is variable cost or running cost. So herein it is given that a taxi run for on an average 4,000 kilometers in a month, of which 20% it runs empty, and the petrol consumption is 9 kilometer per liter of petrol. See, total 4,000 kilometers in a month into total 10 taxis, and a taxi gives an average of 9 kilometer per liter of diesel, and the cost of diesel is also given, that is 6.3. 4,000 kilometers for a taxi into total 10 taxis. The taxi gives an average of 9 kilometer per liter of diesel into the cost of diesel or petrol, whatever it is 6.3. So this will be 28,000. Further, when talking about the cost of oil and sundries, it is rupees 10 per 100 kilometers. $4,000 kilometers per taxi into 10 for 10 taxis, rupees 10 for every 100 kilometers. So this will be 4,000. So my total cost will be 52,800. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. I'll be taking this part also, Shoaib, don't worry. Now, so total cost we have calculated, that is 52,800. Now the question is asking us to calculate the effective cost of running a taxi per kilometer. Now see, herein it is given that total the taxi runs for 4,000 kilometers and 20% it runs empty. So very important, we will not, the question is asking us to calculate the cost per kilometer. We will not divide it by 4,000. We'll divide it by how much? Very simple, guys. We'll divide it by effective kilometers. That is total 4,000 kilometers the taxi runs. And on an average, it runs empty for 20% of the kilometers. It is given that 20% it runs empty. What is 20%? In short, it is 20% is my normal loss. So we can say 4 2s are 8. That is 800 kilometers is my normal loss. So this 800, the loss, the loss of these 800 kilometers will be borne by remaining 3200 kilometers. So in short, we can say we'll be taking only 80% of the kilometers into the number of taxis 10. Even though the taxi runs for 40,000 kilometers, all the 10 taxis run for 40,000 kilometers. However, we'll be dividing this by 32,000 kilometers only. That is when the taxi was running on hire, or when the taxi was running on rent. 8,000 kilometers in a month, the taxi runs empty. So we can say it is just like a normal loss. So of these 8,000 kilometer normal loss, it will be borne by remaining 32,000 kilometers where we are getting some fare. So herein, so my effective cost per kilometer will be how much? 1.65. Further, it is given in the question that find out the profit that Mr. Amit may expect to make in the first year of operation. So they are asking us to calculate the yearly profit. So statement of profit. So higher charges, or we can say revenue, or we can say revenue. Total 32,000 kilometers they run on hire in a month. Into the higher charges are how much? If higher charges are 1.8 per kilometer, so into 1.8 per kilometer into 12 months in a year. So on an average, we are getting the fare for 32,000 kilometers at the rate 1.8 in a month into total 12 months in a year. So this will be 691,200. We will subtract the cost, that is 52,800 into 12. So this will be 633. So my profit will be 57,600. The question is easy and simple. The major point was that herein we have to calculate the effective cost per kilometer. It means we have to ignore the normal loss and we have to calculate the cost per unit on the balanced kilometers. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post. Further, those who want to copy the solution can please copy. In the meanwhile, you guys can please post your queries. I hope, Shoaib, all your queries are resolved. Now, when talking about example number 7, again, it is similar to an illustration that is given in the study material. So when talking about the final answer, I'm writing this for your reference. The final answer up to 8 for 8. See, they are asking the answer as for 8 kilometers, 4 kilometers, and 2 kilometers. For 8 kilometers, 4 kilometers, and 2 kilometers. So the fare for 8 kilometer will be 876.5. This will be 438.25. $219.125. So this will be the bus fare. I hope you guys solved this question. I've got answers from, one second, I've got answer from Hariom Gupta. And all your answers are correct, Hariom. You got these answers, Shoaib? And further, when talking about the bus fare for COVID period, for 8 kilometer, it will be 587. Next will be 293.5. And this will be 146.75. So these are the answers of example number 7. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post. I request you guys to please copy these answers. Further, there was one more question I gave you guys as homework. That was example number 6. The similar question is there in the study material. So it's a very easy question. You guys can solve it on your own. So this is all what about transportation industry. Since it's a revisionary session, so I'll be discussing this much only on transportation industry. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts of transportation industry. So without wasting time, now let's proceed further with the next part, wherein we'll be discussing a question on costing of hotels. So let's start with example number 8. I request you guys to please download the material what I have provided over the portal. I'll be discussing example number 8 from my material. Again, the similar question is there in the study material also. So let's start with example number 8. A hotel is being run in a hill station with 200 single rooms. The hotel offer concessional rates during 6 off-season months in a year. During this period, half of the room rent is charged. So there is a hotel with 200 single rooms, and there is a 6 months. It's a season time, and 6 months it is an off-season time. And during off-season, they do charge half of the room rent. The management profit margin is targeted at 20% of the room rent. So it is profit on sales, that is 20% of sales. The following are the cost estimates and other details for the year ending 31st March 2021, wherein the occupancy during the season is 80%, and while in off season it is 40%. Now, total investment in hotel is 300 lakhs, of which 80% relates to building and balance related to furniture and equipment. So they are just mentioning the total investment made by the company. Further, room attendant are paid rupees 15 per room per day on the basis of occupancy of rooms in a month. So there is a room attendant wages are also involved, that is rupees 15 per room per day on the basis of rooms occupied. Further, the additional expenses are given, that is salary staff excluding that of room attendant, repairs to building, laundry charges, interior charges, miscellaneous expenses. Annual depreciation, they are saying it is to be provided at the rate of 5% on building and 15% on furniture and other equipment on straight line method. So they have mentioned the depreciation part. Further, monthly lighting charges are 110 except in 4 months in winter when it is rupees 30 per room, and this cost is on the basis of full occupancy for a month. So again, the lighting charges are 110 and rupees 30, and these are the monthly lighting charges. You are required to work out the room rent chargeable per day both during the season and the off-season month using the foregoing information. Assume a month to be of 30 days and winter season is to be considered as a part of off-season. So again, a very simple question. Now in this, no need to bifurcate that what is fixed and what is variable. See, in transportation industry, we used to classify all the expenditures in 3 parts, that is fixed cost or standing cost, variable cost or running cost, and maintenance cost. Herein in hotel industry, you can simply prepare a statement of cost. So staff salary is 8 lakh. Repairs to building, it is 3 lakh. Laundry charges are 1,40,000. Interior charges are 2,50,000. Miscellaneous expenses are 200, 200. Now let's write the depreciation also. On building, they are saying 5%. So the cost of building is 240 lakhs. So this will be 12 lakh, and 20%, that is 60 lakh, is furniture and fixtures. Into 15%. So this will be 9 lakh. Further, now 2 points are left, that is room attendant and monthly lighting. We will prepare a working note for calculation of room attendant wages. Yes, Swati. Now, for calculation of room attendant wages, we have to first calculate the number of days the hotel was occupied. So we'll calculate the room days first. So calculation of room days. We'll first calculate the room days, season and off season. Now see, there are total 200 rooms. And the occupancy is 80%. There are 200 rooms and the occupancy is 80%. It means on an average 160 room, that is 200 into 80%, that is 160 rooms are occupied in a day into 30 days in a month, and the season period is 6 months, so into 6 months. Similarly, when talking about off season, again there are total 200 rooms and the occupancy is only 40% into 30 days in a month into 6 months in a year. So this is how we will calculate the room days, that is the days when the rooms are occupied. What is the meaning of room days? Days when rooms, number of days when the rooms are occupied. So 200 into 80% into 30 into 6. So this will be 28,800. And this will be 14,400. So total it will be 43,200. So when talking about the room attendant wages, it is given in the question that the room attendant is paid rupees 15 per room per day on the basis of occupancy of a room in a month. So total room days are 43,200 into 15 rupees per day. So the total amount will be 6,48,000. If you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your queries. Yes, Kavita, Kiran, Mallu, Nirbhay, Om Krishna Gupta, Shoaib, Sunil Gangadev, Swati, anyone having any doubts? Miss Basme, Manoj, any doubts? Let me calculate first, Mr. Om Krishna Gupta. So now we are done with this part. Now let's start with lighting charges. Again, we have to prepare a working note, that is working note number 2. Now, when talking about the lighting charges, they are saying monthly lighting charges are 110, except in 4 months, it is only 30 per room, and it is in winters actually. So for 8 months, it is 110, and for 4 months, it is rupees 30 per room per month. And further, we can say during winter season, actually, it's an off season. So we have to make 3 bifurcation. So herein, season, off season, so season is of 6 months. 1 second. In off season also again 2 calculation. 2 months will be calculating it separately and 4 months will be calculating separately. So this is how the bifurcation of 12 months will be done. So for 6 plus 2, that is 8 months. For 6 plus 2, that is 8 months, it will be 110. And for 4 months, it will be only 30 rupees. So 200 rooms into 80% occupancy into 6 into 110. I repeat again, 200 into 80% occupancy. Since these 110 are what per month, so we are not multiplying it with the number of days. So into 6 months into 110. Further, for off season also, 200 into 40% into 2 months into 110. And for the remaining 4 months, 200 into occupancy is 40% into 4 into 30. This is the way this calculation will be done. If you guys have any doubts, I repeat again, when talking about the lighting charges, they are not given daily. They are given monthly, first of all. So 200 is the number of rooms into 80% is my occupancy during the season into 6 months into 110 per month is my lighting charges. For off season, the total number of rooms are 200 into the occupancy is 40% during off season. Further, it is for 2 months, the lighting charges are 110, and for 4 months, it is 30. So let's calculate the final value. So this will be 1 lakh. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. Waiting for your queries, guys. We are done with the calculation of total cost. So this will be 45,71,000. So my total cost will be 45,71,000. And further, they are asking us to calculate the room rent also. And when talking about the profit, it is given in the question that during the period, half of the room rent is charged and the management profit margin is targeted at 20% of the room rent. So this is my cost. So my cost is 45,71,000. In this, we will add profit to get the total revenue. So the profit is 20% of sales. So let's assume my sales is 100, my profit is 20, so therefore my cost will be 80. So revenue will be 45,71,000 into 100 divided by 80. So this will be 57 lakh 13,750. I think Om Krishna Gupta, your answer was correct. Very good, Om Krishna Gupta. Your answer is correct. Now they are asking us to calculate the room rent also. So let's assume room rent in season be X. Therefore, in off season, it will be 0.5x. Let's assume that the room rent in season be X. So therefore, in off season, it will be 0.5x. It is given that the half of the room rent is charged during the off season. So let's make an equation. See, the number of rooms during the season that are occupied is 28,800. Total 28,800 rooms were occupied, and assuming that their rent is what? X. Total 28,800 rooms were occupied during the season and their rent is X. And 14,400 rooms were occupied in off season and their rent was how much? 0.5x. So this will be the total of this will be 571,3750. The rent during the season and this is the rent during the off season and this will be the total rent. So let's calculate the value of X. One 158.71 during season and off season it will be 79.36. Very good, Kiran. Very good, Swati. Your answers are correct. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. Further, those who want to copy this explanation, this working note, then you guys can copy, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time. Those who have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. Shoaib, any doubts? One 158.71 कैसे आया? So see Mr. Mallu, 28,800x plus 14,400 into 0.5. So this will be 7,200x. It should be equal to 571,3750. So this will be 36,000x is equals to 571,3750. So x will be equal to so this is how I got this figure, Mr. Mallu. I hope your query is resolved. Anyone else? Mr. Mallu Jadar, hopefully your query is resolved. A question for you guys now for calculation of room days. I request you guys to please solve this question. The total single rooms are 80 and double rooms are 120. The single bed and double bed rooms are 120. Further, let's keep it number of rooms only better. Total 200 rooms. And there are 3 seasons: summer, winter, and autumn. Each season for 4 months. And when talking about the occupancy, it is 80% in summer, 60% in winters, and 40% in autumn. Further, assume 30 days in a month. Assume 30 days in a month. Total revenue is given, let's say 1 crore 20 lakh. Further, room rent in winter is half of summer and room rent in autumn is half of winter. You are required to calculate room rent for all the seasons. So there is a holiday home with 200 rooms. There are 3 seasons: summer, winter, and autumn. Summer, the occupancy is 80%, winter, the occupancy is 60%, autumn, it is 40%. Assume 30 days in a month, assuming that the revenue is 1 crore 20 lakh. Further, room rent in winter is half of summer and room rent in autumn is half of winters. You are required to calculate the room rent for the season. Waiting for your answers, guys. Let's see who answers first. Those who are viewing the lecture over portal or over YouTube, you can post your answers over the portal. So waiting for your answers, guys. Giving you 10 minutes time to post your answers. I have given the total revenue, Kiran Bala, that is 1 crore 20 lakh. So I've got answer from Shoaib, Swati, and Om Krishna Gupta. Kiran Bala, still waiting for your answer. So let's first calculate the number of room days. For summer, it will be 200 into 80% into 4 into 30. For winters, it will be 200 into 60% into 4 into 30. And for autumn, so 200 rooms into 80%. Total the number of room days are 43,200. Now, when talking about the room rent, let assume room rent in summers be X. So rent in winter be 0.5x and rent in autumn be 0.25x. So let's assume that the rent in summers be X. So winter it will be 0.5x, that is half of the room rent that is in summer, and autumn it will be 0.25x, that is half of winter. So now let's calculate the room rent. So in summers total 19,200 rooms were occupied into the rent that is X, plus in winters 14,400 into 0.5x, and in autumn it is 9,600 into 0.25x, and this should be equal to my total revenue, that is 1 crore 20 lakh. So it will be 1 crore 20 lakh. Value of X will be 1 crore divided by 28,800. So it will be 416.67 for summers. For winters, it will be half of this. So 208.33. And for autumn, seven. So very good, Shoaib, Om Krishna Gupta, Kiran Bala, please check your answers. Your answers are incorrect. Swati, your answers are incorrect. It's a very easy question. Kavita, very good. Your answers are correct. So the major part in hotel industry is that you should know how to calculate the room days and the rent of the rooms. If you guys have any doubts in hotel industry, you guys can please post your query. I'm done with the part of hotel industry. I think one question is more than sufficient. Still, if you have any doubts, you guys can please post. Else, we'll move further with a question on hospital industry. So, giving you 2 minutes time to copy this explanation. Further, those who have any queries, you guys can please post your queries. So now let's proceed further with the next question. I'm discussing example number 9 from my material. That is costing of hotels. So let's start with example number 9, costing of hospitals. Sorry. Example number 9, costing of hospitals. So ABC hospital runs a critical care unit in a hired building. So there is a hospital ABC and it runs a CCU in a hired building. CCU consists of 35 beds and 5 more beds can be added if required. Further, the rent per month is 75,000. Supervisors, there are total 2 supervisors and their salary is 25,000 per month each. Nurses, total 4 persons, and the salary of nurses is 20,000 per month. Further, when talking about ward boys, there are total 4 persons and their salary is 5,000 per month each. Doctors are paid 2,50,000 per month, paid on the basis of number of patients attended and the time spent by them. So it depends upon the number of patients and it is on an average 2,50,000 per month. Other expenses for the year are as follows, wherein the repairs are given, that is fixed, 81,000. Food to patient, that is variable, that is 8,80,000. Other services to patient, that is variable cost, that is 3 lakh. Laundry charges are variable, that is 6 lakh. Medicines are variable, that is 7,50,000. Other fixed expenses are 10,80,000. Administration expenses allocated are 10 lakh. Further, it is given that it was estimated that for 150 days in a year, 35 beds were occupied, and for 80 days, only 25 beds were occupied. The hospital hired 750 beds at a charges of rupees 100 per bed per day to accommodate the flow of patients. However, it does not exceed more than 5 extra beds over and above the normal capacity of 35 beds on any day. So they have taken few beds on hire also, which is maximum 5 beds per day. You are required to calculate the profit per patient day if the hospital recovers on an average 2,000 per day from each patient. Find out the break-even point for the hospital. So now we have to calculate the profit per patient day and we have to calculate the break-even point for the hospital. So very important when you have to calculate the break-even point, you need to bifurcate the fixed cost and variable cost. What is break-even point? Let me give you a little brief. The point where there is no profit, no loss. The point where there is no profit, no loss. That is known as break-even point. Or we can say the revenue is equals to total cost. That is also called as break-even point. I'll be discussing this point further in marginal costing, but as of now, break-even point, it's the point where there is no profit, no loss. So herein when the break-even point, the question is asking, we need to bifurcate the cost in two parts, that is variable cost and fixed cost. And the question has also provided us the information that what all costs are variable and what all costs are fixed. So let's start with this question. Question example number 9 from my material. See, herein the hospital is recovering rupees 2000 per day from each patient. So we have to calculate the patient days. So in hotels we calculate the room days. In hospital we do calculate the patient days in a similar way. So herein it is given that for 150 days in a year, 35 beds were occupied. Plus for 80 days, only 25 beds were occupied. Further, they have taken extra beds on hire, total 750 beds. So we have got the 8,000 patient beds. See, when talking about the calculation of patient days, again, I mean, there is an alternate calculation also, but since the study material is following this calculation, so I'm solving the question as per study material. Alternatively, we can assume 365 days in a year and can make the calculation separately. But as of now, the study material is giving the answer as per this way. So I'm just solving the question as per this way only. So in short, total number of patient days are 8,000 into the amount recovered per patient per day is 2,000. One crore 60 lakh. Now let's start with all the variable cost. So rent is fixed, supervisor salary is fixed, nurses are fixed, ward boys are fixed, doctor are paid rupees 2,50,000 per month on the basis of number of patients attended. So doctor fees, it is 2,50,000 per month into 12 months. So this will be 30 lakh. See, the doctor fees, we will treat it as variable because it is dependent upon the number of patients attended. So that's why it is variable. Now, food to patient, it is 8,80,000. Other services to patient, 3 lakh. So food to patient, it is variable. Other services to patient, it is variable. Laundry charges, again, 6 lakh are variable. Medicines, 7,50,000 are variable. Further, the bed hire charges. Total, we have taken 750 beds on hire at the rate rupees 100 per bed. So the bed hire charges are 75,000. I think we are done with all the variable cost. So rent is fixed, supervisor, nurses, ward boy, doctors we have considered, food to patient we have considered, other services to patient, 3 lakh we have considered, 6 lakh and 7,50,000. So let's write down the total variable cost. So this will be 56 lakh 5,000. So revenue minus variable cost, we call it as contribution. We call this term as contribution. So our contribution will be 1 crore 3 lakh 95,000. Since we have to calculate the profit, so contribution minus fixed cost will be my profit. These all terms I'll be discussing in marginal costing in detail. So let's start with fixed cost now. Rent per month is 75,000. So 75,000 into 12. Supervisor, it is 25,000 per month and total supervisors are 2. So 25,000 per month into total 2 supervisors into 12 months. So this will be 6 lakh. Further, nurses, it is 20,000 per month each, and there are total 4 nurses. $20,000 per month. Ward boys are 4% and 5,000 per month each. So this will be 2 lakh 5,000 into 420. 2 lakh 40,000. Further, the repairs are given, that is 81,000. Other fixed expenses are 10 lakh 80,000. Administration expenses allocated is 10 lakh. This will be 48 lakh 61,000. So we can easily calculate the profit now. So my profit will be, if you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your queries. I'm done with the calculation of profit. Hire charges are 75,000. See, total 750 beds taken on hire into 100 rupees per day per bed. So this is how I got 75,000. So now we are required to calculate the profit per patient day. So profit per patient day will be 55 lakh 34,000 divided by my number of patient days, that is 8,000. So the profit per patient day will be 691.75. I'm done with this calculation. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. See, Shoaib, the question is saying that after occupying 35 beds, if we need more beds, then we can take it on higher. But max to max we can take on higher is only 5 beds. 5 beds से ज़्यादा हम लोग rent पे नहीं ले सकते because we don't have the capacity. We have the capacity that after 35 beds are occupied, we can take 5 more beds on higher at the rate rupees 100 per bed, but not more than 5 beds. Anyone else having any doubts or queries can please post your queries. Now let's calculate the break-even number of patient. Now, when talking about the break-even point calculation, the formula given is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. How come this formula is derived? I'll be discussing in detail in marginal costing. But as of now, for your reference, the formula is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Now, see, fixed cost we have already calculated, that is 48,61,000. When talking about the contribution per unit, we can easily calculate as contribution per patient day. My contribution is 103,95,000 divided by my patient days, that is 8,000. So contribution per unit for in hospital industry, the unit is patient days. So 1 crore 3,95,000 divided by 8,000. So this will be 1299.375. 1299.375. So now we have the number of patient, we have the contribution per patient day. So my fixed cost is 48 lakh 61,000 divided by 1299.375. To 3741 patients. So, keeping this data in mind, keeping this data in picture, the break-even number of patients are 3741. So, till 3741 patients, the hospital will neither earn profit nor will suffer loss. But if it is goes, if the number of patients goes below 3741, let's say the number of patients are 3700, that is 3700 patient beds, then the hospital will be in loss. So in simple terms, if it is go less than 3741, it will be a loss. If it is goes more than 3741, we will earn profit. So this is the break-even point where the company is neither in profit nor in loss. So if the number of patient goes below 3741, the hospital will suffer loss. If the number of patient beds goes above 3741, the hospital will start making profit. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. Yes, hospital has taken on higher 750 beds at the rate rupees 100 per bed. So the higher charges paid are 75,000, Shoaib. Anyone else having any doubts, queries? You guys can please post your queries. Shoaib, hopefully your query is resolved. See further, Shoaib, read the question carefully. That the hospital hired 750 beds at the charge of 100 per bed per day to accommodate the flow of patient. Now see, very important. However, this does not exceed more than 5 extra beds over and above the normal capacity of 35 beds. This much is more than sufficient for you, Swati, and for everyone. Don't want to create controversy. So as of now, you have to solve the question as per this way only. Shoaib, hopefully your query is resolved. Those who want to copy the explanation, you guys can copy, giving you 2 minutes time. If you guys have any queries, you guys can please post your queries. So guys, let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with 2, 3 more questions. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. Edwin sir, are you there? Edwin sir, are you there? So guys, let's take a break of 15 minutes. Huh? Welcome back, my friends. So we are done with transportation industry, hospitals, and hotels. If you guys have any doubts in this part, whatever I have discussed till now, you guys can please post your queries. Else, we'll start with few more questions. So now let's start with example number 10, that is costing of ITs and information technology based industry. So following are the data pertaining to Infotech Private Limited for the year 1920. I repeat again, example number 10 from my material. Similar question is there in the study material also. So let's start with this question. So following are the data pertaining to Infotech Private Limited for the year 2019 and 20, wherein salary to the software engineer for 5% it is 15 lakhs. So we can say it is 3 lakh rupees per person. Yearly salary, in fact. Salary to the project leader, it is 9 lakh for 2%. So we can say that it is 4 lakh 50,000 per person. Further, there is a project manager also whose salary is 6 lakh. The general overheads are repairs and maintenance 3 lakh and administration overhead are 12 lakh. The company executes a project XYZ and the details of the same are as follows, wherein the project duration is for 6 months, and they're saying that one project leader and 3 software engineers were involved for the entire duration of the project, whereas the project manager spends 2 month efforts during the execution of the project. So they are saying about the time devoted by every person towards the project. Further, the travel expenses incurred for the project are 1,87,500. Now, 2 laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each for use in the project, and the life of the same is estimated to be 2 years. You are required to prepare a project sheet, a project cost sheet. So let's start with this question. So when talking about the salaries, one project leader and 3 software engineers. So let's start with project leader. The salary of a project leader is, see, 9 lakh for 2%. So for per person, it will be 4 lakh 50,000. And the duration of the project is 6 months. So into 6 divided by 12. So this will be 2 lakh 25,000. Now software engineer. See, there are total 5 persons and the salary is 15 lakhs. So per person, it will be 3 lakh. into 6 by 12 into total number of software engineers who worked on this project is 3. So this will be 4,50,000. Further, when talking about the project manager, it is given that the project manager spends 2 months efforts during the execution of the project. And the salary of the project manager is 6 lakh rupees. So these are the details of the salaries that are paid. So total salary paid is how much? $7,75,000. These are the total salaries that are charged to this project, that is 7,75,000. Now, herein, the other overheads of the companies are also given, that is repairs and maintenance and administration overhead. We'll be considering the travel expenses also and cost of laptops also. But see, there are overheads given, that is repairs and maintenance and administration overhead. See, now we have learned in overheads absorption costing, or we can say we have learned in overheads that whatever the total overheads are, we used to first calculate the absorption rate, and then we used to charge it to a particular job or to a particular product to calculate the total cost. Now see, the general overheads of the companies are 3 lakh and 12 lakh, that is total 15 lakh. Now the point is, we have to charge these overheads to this project to calculate the total project cost. Now for this, we have to absorb the overheads. Now wherein, see, herein, this industry is service based. This information technology industry is service based. So the point is, see, in manufacturing concern, we can absorb the overheads on the basis of labor hours or machine hours or the number of units manufactured. But see, this is a service industry. So herein the overheads will be absorbed on the basis of service provided. So herein the service provided represents, in monetary term, it represents what? The salary paid to the workers. So herein, calculation of absorption rate since information technology is a service industry and it depends mostly on skilled manpower. Therefore, the general overheads of the company are to be absorbed on the basis of salary paid to professionals. So since IT is a service industry, it depends mostly on skilled manpower. Therefore, the general overheads of the company are to be absorbed on the basis of salary paid to the professionals. So herein, when talking about the total overheads are 12 plus 3 lakh. That is 15 lakh. Whole divided by the total salary paid, that is 30 lakh. How come 30 lakh, 15 lakh plus 9 lakh plus 6 lakh? So this will be 50%. So whatever the amount we are paying to our skilled professional, 50% will be my general overhead. So herein, when talking about the overheads, the total overheads are how much? 15 lakh. Of this 15 lakh, 50% will be charged to this project. So this will be 7 lakh 50,000. Now further travel expenses are 1 lakh 87,500. Travel expenses are 187,500. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, I was on mute. So herein, a small mistake from my end. See, whatever the salary is paid, 50% will be my overhead. So total salary paid are 7 lakh 75,000. Of this, 50% will be my overheads. So 7 lakh 75,000 into 50% will be my overheads. Further, the travel expenses are 1 lakh 87,500. When talking about the depreciation, it is 50,000 is the cost of a laptop. And since we purchased two laptops, so the total cost is 1 lakh. Now, the life of the same is estimated to be 2 years. So we'll get the depreciation for the year. And since we are working only 12 months or 6 months for this project, so into 6 by 12. So the depreciation will be 25,000. So here in my total project cost will be If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your query. Sorry, Mr. Srinivasan, it was a mistake from my end. Yes, repairs and maintenance will form part of overheads only. Swati, anyone else having any doubts? Those who want to copy this explanation can please copy. Swati, repairs and maintenance will form part of overheads. Calculation of depreciation. See, the total cost of a laptop is 50,000 and we have purchased two laptops. So total 1 lakh is the cost. The useful life is 2 years. So divided by 2 into 6 months only we have worked on this project. So into 6 divided by 12. This is how I got 25,000. Kiran. Anyone else with any doubts? I request you guys to please copy this explanation. So let's start with the next question. Example number 11, costing of toll roads. So BHG Toll Plaza Limited built a 60 kilometers long highway and now operates a toll plaza to collect tolls from the passing vehicles using the same. The company has invested 600 crores to build the road and has estimated that a total of 60 crores vehicles will be using the highway during the 10 years toll collection tenure. Further, the toll operating and maintenance costs for the month of April 2020 are as follows. So the cost data is given. The cost data is given for the month. That is salary to collection personnel, 3 shifts, 4 persons per shift at the rate 150 per day per person. Supervisor, 2 shifts, 1 person per shift, 250 per day per person. Security personnel, 3 shifts, 2 person per shift, 150 per day per person. Toll booth manager, again they are paying 400 per day per person. There are 2 shifts and 1 person per shift. Electricity cost is given, telephone cost is given, maintenance cost is given, that is 30 lakh. The company need 25% profit over total cost to cover interest and other cost. First of all, you are required to calculate the cost per kilometer and further calculate the toll rate per vehicle, assuming there is only one type of vehicle. So let's start with statement of cost for the month of April. So let's start with salaries first. Salary to collection persons. See, 150 per day per person into 3 shifts, 4 person per shift, into 3 shifts, into 4 person per shift, into total 30 days in a month. So this will be 54,000. Next is supervisor. It is 250 per day per person into 2 shifts, 1 person per shift, into 30 days in a month. Further, security person, 3 shifts, 2 person per shift, and they are paying rupees 150 per day per person. 150 into 3 into 2. Further, toll booth manager, 2 shifts, 1 person per shift, 400 per day per person. $400 into 2 shifts into only 1 person into 30 days. So this will be 24,000. Now electricity cost is 80,000. Telephone cost is 40,000. Maintenance cost is 30 lakh. If you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your queries. Now herein we'll consider the depreciation also, wherein the cost of road is 600 crores and they can collect the toll for a period of 10 years. So this cost is to be amortized in 10 years. So we'll get the per year amortized amount into the per month, that is into 1 by 12. I repeat again, the company has invested 600 crores and total they are eligible to collect toll only for 10 years. So 600 crore is to be amortized in 10 years. So 600 divided by 10 into 1 by 12. So this will be 5 crores. So this is the monthly cost. So the total cost will be if you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. So herein we have calculated the total cost. Now we are required to calculate the cost per kilometer per month. Divided by the total distance is 60 kilometers. We'll get the cost per kilometer. Further, the question is asking us to calculate the toll rate per vehicle, assuming there is only one vehicle. So we have the cost, that is 5 crore 32 lakh 40,000. And this will add profit and other cost at the rate of 25%. So total revenue. See herein, it is given in the question that the company need 25% profit over total cost to cover interest and other costs. So 5 crore 32 lakh 40,000 into 25%. So 665. Six crore 65 lakh 50,000. Now herein it is given that total they are estimating 60 crore vehicles will be using this highway for a period of 10 years. So when talking about the number of vehicles, so 60 crore vehicles in 10 years into 1 by 12. So total number of vehicles will be 50 lakh. So the toll rate will be 13 rupees 31 paisa. Very good, Om Krishnan Gupta. So the toll rate will be 13 rupees 31 paisa. So this is the way you guys have to solve the question. See, again the question was straight away. अगर आपको एग्जाम में कोई भी इंडस्ट्री का पूछता है, बीट एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री, बीट होटल इंडस्ट्री, बीट हॉस्पिटल इंडस्ट्री, बीट आईटी, बीट टोल रोड, बीट जिम और salons, whatever it is, if they are asking you to calculate the cost per unit of service, very simple, the basic funda, that is calculate the total cost divided by units, whatever it is. It may differ from industry to industry. So again, when talking about this chapter, the trickiest part was bit of transportation industry. Rest all the questions will be straightforward. Calculate the total cost divided by my number of units. The units may differ from industry to industry. So this is all what about this chapter. If you guys have any doubts in any part, you guys can please post your query. Those who want to copy the solution, you guys can copy. The same question is not there in the study material, I think. So if you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. I'm done with this chapter. Again, the key part, the important part was transportation industry, wherein I have discussed, I have covered, in fact, total one session for transportation industry. So rest all, they are comparatively easy than transportation industry. Again, the key is the practice. try to solve as many as question possible from study material or past practice man. One second. Sorry. So try to solve as many as question possible from practice manual, from past practice manual, study material, plus MTPs, RTPs. The practice is the key. The more you will solve the question, the more you will be thorough with the concept. But I assure you guys, अगर आपने इतने सारे question solve कर लिए, so you will find always a familiar question in exams. So this is all what about service costing. Giving you 5 minutes time. Whatever the queries you have, you guys can please post your queries. Yes, Kavita, Kiran, Mallu, Om Krishnan Gupta, Srinivasan, Sunil Ganga, Swati. Anyone having any doubts? Mallu Jadar, sir, 50 lakh kaise aaya? So 60 crores divided by 10, it will be 6 crores. 6 crore divided by 12, it will be 50 lakhs. Anyone else? Swati, any doubts? Om Krishnan Gupta, any doubts? So try to solve as many as question possible. See you guys soon with the next chapter. Till then, do practice all the questions of service costing. You will find the questions of service costing in every alternate attempt. In fact, in every attempt also, you will find questions on service costing. So don't skip this chapter. It's a very easy chapter. The point is you have to practice. That is the key. Rest in exams, I mean, generally, if you practice a lot and if you solve variety of questions from past practice manual, MTPs or RTPs, then you'll find a familiar question only in exams. So thank you so much, guys, for your time and patience. And thank you so much, guys, for your time and patience for active participation in the session. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys soon. Admin, sir? Admin, sir, I'm done. Admin, sir, are you there? Anyways, thank you so much, guys.